Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Gorilla Talk.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 5 of Gorilla Talk, hashtag Gorilla Gamer. I'm your host Simon and with me is my co-host.
Yeah, your co-pilot for today, it's Mike.
Hey, hello Mike. Welcome,
Hello.
episode 5.
I know.
Wow. Where's the time gone, eh? Where's the time gone?
Where's the time gone? It's only been 2 weeks.
It's only 2 weeks.
It's great to be back, isn't it?
Yes. So we do 2 episodes a week. This
Yeah.
is our Gorilla Gamer episode on a Tuesday, and on the Friday we have Popcorn Banter.
Yeah, so you're hosting all the gaming ones, aren't you?
I'm hosting the game ones and Mike is hosting the movie ones. We
I
may
am.
swap over on
We might
occasion.
swap, but I like the movies. I might hog it.
Hog the movie.
Hog the
Hog
movies.
the limelight.
Yeah.
But no, that's essentially where we are. We've got 4 episodes on at the moment.
Years.
And a prequel episode that we recorded back in September when we went to EGX
Yeah.
in Birmingham. So
Birmingham.
Birmingham. But
You can't say Birmingham. Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
But yeah, that's so please check those out. They're on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube.
Yeah.
We are looking at. We spoke last week. If you caught Friday's episode of Popcorn Banter, we talked about us potentially doing solo episodes when one of us isn't available, or getting a guest host on. So that's still something we've got planned for the future.
Yeah.
So what have you been playing, Mike?
What have I been playing? What have I been playing? Oh yeah. Well, I just
Well, there's one game we have been playing.
well,
we got
you haven't played much of it, but I played quite a bit of it. Is Monster Hunter World.
How much have you played?
I've done about 4 hours, I think, on it.
I've done probably half of that.
Yeah, I've done the sort of the tutorial on that, and to be honest, I was saying this to you today. I've got mixed reservations about it because I'm new to the franchise.
Yeah.
I've never played the franchise before. I think it's a beautiful looking game, and I think it's got potential. I mean, it's definitely got potential. But for me, playing it, I think I need to stick with it. But there's a few things that I'm not sure on it. I'm not a fan of the combat. Yeah. I'm not a fan on. Like I was playing one mission where I was after this sort of bird creature that pukes everywhere.
Right. Yeah. I think I've just got to that one.
Yeah, and I was on it. I was playing it for about an hour, and I didn't kill the thing.
Yeah. But the boss battles are known to be long.
It's a bit like Dark Souls.
Yeah, it is Dark Souls with monsters. I think the monster designs are amazing. They're really cool.
Yeah, there's 30 big monsters, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's all little creatures that roam the world. Eventually you get like a net as well, where you can like basically grab these little creatures.
I've already got that.
Pets. You got the net.
You get that from the beginning.
So you can do
but I think you can capture other animals as well. I think you can lay traps, which I haven't got to at the moment. I mean, the online needs work because for me, I couldn't find any online sessions.
It's really convoluted setting up. For us to set up a private game, it's doable. It's not like Nintendo Switch where you have to there is like a code I think you have to get.
Yeah,
but
also the progression. The progression, if you're playing co-op, has come under a bit of scrutiny because it's like you can't. For example, I'm a bit further on than you.
Yeah.
You can't help me with any missions. You can't do any of my missions.
No.
But I can do your missions.
But sometimes that's not just in Monster Hunter, that's in other games.
Yeah.
Where you're a high level. I mean, Destiny even had some of that.
Yeah. No, Destiny. I could help you with them, but it was just harder.
Just harder, yeah.
I'm looking forward to. But I think this is a game you need to play with people.
Yeah.
I can see it getting bored quite easily because I'd be like for an hour killing a creature and I've not killed him. I mean, it's reviewed really well with critics. I mean,
it's got a 91% on Metacritic.
Yeah, and IGN, I think they gave it 9.5, and it scored really well. I mean,
user score of 88.1.
Yeah, it's just me really. I like to. For me, it is a good game, but I need to invest a lot more time into it. Yeah. I like to get my teeth straight into a game.
I think it is play. I mean, you say solo, but I think someone like Sea of Thieves will be very difficult.
Yeah, which is we're. But
I think Monster Hunter you can play solo. I've been enjoying it on my own. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's more learning the systems, learning what armaments to use, what weapons to use, what weapons you're comfortable with.
I've been using the dual blades, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But yeah, it'd be cool with 4 of us.
Yeah, I just wish you had more on the combat. I wish you had more than just 2 buttons. I wish you had more combinations.
But it's all. But you can combo.
Yeah.
With B and Y, and there's certain moves to it. If you go,
I'll tell you what, I did quite like. I had like a spear, and you can vault over the creatures. I thought that was quite cool.
So it's a learning curve.
I think I will grow to like it. I just need to invest time into it.
Yeah,
the other thing we've been playing. Well, I've played more. If you haven't played much of it, have you?
No, I've been working.
We've been playing the beta of Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, and we can talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about because we did play the alpha.
Yeah,
as well. We can talk about.
But you can, I believe, the beta now. You can.
All people are streaming it on YouTube.
Yeah, you can stream it and stuff like that.
I'm really excited about it.
It's really good.
The only thing is there isn't much to do in the beta. You've got an open world. You've got a hunt. You've got to do treasure chests and hunt for treasure. That is pretty much it for the beta.
But they have confirmed this is a small sample. The map's not even the full map that we're playing, and it's pretty big. I think someone did a video where they got the beta map from 16 minutes to get from one end to the other. Which is not bad, even for like.
Yeah, but is the actual game map going to be bigger?
Oh no, I think they've already said it takes 6 to 8 hours to cross it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's more with stopping as well, but still, that's quite.
Yeah. Big. I mean, you say about playing solo. I enjoyed playing that solo.
Yeah,
really
I think it'll be fun.
I find it quite therapeutic just sailing along, doing a few missions. Apart from then, I saw one boat on an island and went, right, well, I'll just avoid that. And then suddenly I look behind about 5 minutes later and he's tailing me. I'm like, damn. And he's like following me. So then he started shooting at me because there was 2 of them on the boat. I was only on the sloop on my own.
But it is a game I think that will live and die on its multiplayer in a sense.
Yeah.
But I think I played it with you, and I played with another friend of ours, Chris, and some of his friends as well. And we had a good laugh.
Yeah.
Like, it was really good fun.
Yeah, you can vote to lock people in the brig. I think one game I played, I joined an open session. And this annoyed me a little bit because they voted to put me in the brig straight away. And I was like, what?
Well,
I've only just joined.
Deserve it.
I've just joined. But I think this is what they're doing. They're like sniping people now because it's like if you join their game and they're holding the position open for somebody else, they'll lock you in the brig so you quit because you can't get out of the brig.
I did listen to or watch Podcast Unlocked from the IGN guys.
Yeah.
And Rare actually watch that all the time religiously. They actually watch that podcast or listen to that podcast as well.
Yeah.
And they did say about the brig, and they said, could they not do something where
you can escape?
They understand why it's there, not escape, but like there's a certain amount of time they have to wait until they can put you in the brig.
Yeah.
So if you're mucking around and causing havoc and not playing along, then they can put you in the brig.
Yeah.
But if they just put you in the brig straight away, it's a bit unfair when you've only just started the game.
Because
they might change that.
I felt like once I get out, I was going to sink the ship, just scuttle the ship. Because you have to vote, so that's 3 of them that voted.
Yeah, so I think they may need to look at making that a little bit fair. I love the idea, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. But I was reading an article because I was like, well, how long am I in here for? And someone was in there for 80 minutes.
80 minutes. Yeah, but you just log out and go into a new game, so that's their own fault.
Yeah, I was trying to trying to go into recent players, and this is the only thing with Xbox now. You used to be able to recent players. You used to be able to see who you played straight away. Yeah. Now you can't, and it takes ages to refresh. So I was like, because I was going to jump back into their game.
Right.
But I really enjoy it. I mean, the water physics are stunning.
Oh, they're amazing.
I mean, you're on the boat and you're going up. I did feel a bit motion sickness.
Did you know the water physics are done by the people that did the Forza Horizon series?
Really?
Yeah, because that's a UK developer Playground who may be doing the new Fable.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about in episode 3 of course.
Do you know what I'd like them to bring in? Well, they did it in Black Flag, and I don't know if if it's the right period because it's obviously it might be set before Black Flag. I don't know. A diving suit.
Yeah.
So you can go right down to the bottom of the depths. That would be quite cool.
Yeah. Underwater's pretty cool though. I do like swimming underwater.
I scuttled the ship quite a few times when I was learning to do it. But
there is going to be more. I mean, the game is going to have a lot more. I was talking to Chris, and he was saying when he played, there's going to be if you see there's videos, behind the scenes videos, and they talk about having animals and certain missions where you have to transport animals across the map, and you've got to keep them safe. So there are going to be, and there's traders that were missing off the beta that are going to be in the final game.
Yeah.
And there's probably more that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
The game's 2 months away from being released.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more previews. I would guess there's going to be another beta, but this will be an open beta where they just want to wreck the servers deliberately, get everyone on.
When's that going to be then?
I would guess that's February.
So I'm guessing we'll be able to play that.
Yeah, it'll be for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be. It's not official. They haven't announced that, but that'll be a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because
hopefully put a bit more in the beta.
Servers. Possibly, but do you really want more? Because I think they'll probably just give you what we've had in the closed beta, because you don't want to spoil it too much.
Do you know what I would like to see? I don't know whether it's got it in, but AI. I don't know if there's any AI ships.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think because it's going to be a multiplayer game,
It would be nice though because you could go hours without seeing anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd quite like it. I mean, it might be in the game. We don't know. But this is the one that you said this the other day. It's like the No Man's Sky.
Yeah, in a good way. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a. It's this experience where there's progression, but it's not like grinding.
It's the game No Man's Sky should have been, I think. Without the pirates, but do you know what I mean? Yeah. With the multiplayer and everything like that.
But it's also like there's no grind in the sense of like there's no pressure to do certainly like in an Assassin's Creed or in another RPG or in a Monster Hunter where there is this constant grind. You can just relax, and that's how I'm going to treat the game.
Yeah.
And there's some people who are going to go hardcore with it and play it every day.
Yeah.
I'm probably just going to be relaxed. Right, I want to come home from work, busy day at work. I don't really want to play like an amazing like. I don't want to play Monster Hunter 2 hours after I finish work.
No.
But I do want to enjoy a nice relaxing experience. And that might be what Sea of Thieves does. It's that kind of, it's been a stressful day. I'm going to get on my pirate ship, join my mates, have a little
or even just on your own.
Or on your own, just bobbing around the ocean. And then, do that for a few hours.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it's going to be.
I'd like to see some customization of the ships.
Yes,
so you can design what your ship looks like, or you can change the sails and that.
Yeah, I'm sure, maybe they are. I'm sure someone talks about that. Maybe it might be someone else that wanted that same thing. I'm sure they'll be doing things like that. We don't know what future plans are yet.
No.
And I guess once the game's out in March, they'll start to then discuss. Right, the game's out now. It's doing really well.
Yeah.
Here's, hopefully, fingers crossed. Here's the future. This is what we want to try and do. This is what do you want as fans? What do you want to see and what's possible?
Yeah.
So no, but Sea of Thieves. If they do an open beta and you haven't had a chance to do the closed beta, I think you can only go on the closed beta if you're an insider member and you've downloaded the game, pre-ordered the game. So if they do an open beta, I definitely recommend have a go. Yeah. Because it's really good fun.
Yeah. I mean, just think what the game will be in a year's time after it's come out.
Yeah.
It would be great. I mean, I'm glad as well that it wasn't game preview.
Yeah. No, I think it's great great developer. So, what we've played, really enjoyed so far. So
yeah. So we played some good games this week.
Yes. What else have I played? Been playing a bit of Escapist 2 on the Switch.
Oh right.
That's really really good.
Yeah.
It's if you've not heard of Escapist, so the first one was basically it's a top-down sort of sandbox game where you're in a jail and you just basically have to escape, but you have to look at it's very cartoony. You have to sort of look at sort of prison patterns. You follow the daily routine, so you go to the mess, you have your lunch, you then do all this, you go do your job in the prison, but you're still constantly looking out for ways to escape. Yeah. It's really good fun, and something like that on the go is recommended. It was only £20, which is a bargain.
You've been playing Elite Dangerous again as well, haven't you?
Been playing a bit of Elite Dangerous again. We were talking about No Man's Sky, weren't we? The other day, and it got me thinking, I'll play a bit of Elite Dangerous on the Xbox. That was a game that was formerly in game previews, now out. Yeah. It's really good. It's hard. It's
more of a simulation, isn't it?
It's like Monster Hunter for space.
Yeah.
It's very much a simulation. Landing can be quite difficult, taking off, and trying to fit all that on a control pad because it's formerly like a PC game.
I mean, you struggle driving, so I don't know what you'd be like flying a spacecraft.
But it's really atmospheric, and they've added so much into the game since I last played it.
Yeah.
Like you've got your pilot now as like a holographic avatar.
Yeah.
There's 2-person ships, so we can both fly ship together. You can carry passengers around. To different systems.
You can have commercial. There's
tourists, or there was one I read. It was get these tourists to this. They want to go on this expedition and they want to go to these different systems. So it looks really cool. Getting back into it again. So I've been playing.
Especially after watching Star Trek Discovery as well.
Yes, exactly.
Because we're both now up to date. Obviously, we won't talk about that.
Well, we talked about it. You talked about it on episode 4. Check out episode 4 of Popcorn Banter, and we talk about Star Trek Discovery then. Yeah. I think, Mike, it's time for the news.
The news!
Okay, first news story, Mike.
Yes.
Comes from courtesy of VG247.
Yeah.
Microsoft will add all new Xbox One exclusive first-party games to the Xbox Game Pass on release day.
Woo!
So
Very excited about
just
this.
comes off our last conversation about Sea of Thieves, and that's going to be the first one that they do this with.
Yeah.
And then since I did this story, they've now said, because we thought, they're just going to rotate them out like the other games.
Yeah.
Get rotated out.
Yeah.
And they've now said, no, the games like Sea of Thieves,
Any first party.
Any first party, so Crackdown 3,
Gears of War.
State of Decay, Gears of War, are staying there permanently.
Yeah.
So they're never going to rotate out,
Yeah.
which is even better. So the company announced that all new games developed by Microsoft Studios will be available day and date with release.
Yeah.
So that's really good as well, because they could have done this and said, right, Sea of Thieves is going to be in the Game Pass 2-3 weeks after it comes out officially. But I think it's really good that it's going to be day and date, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It just makes that all a bit more appealing.
So when they finally release Crackdown in 2021, we'll get to play on Game Pass.
That's going to be this year.
State of Decay. State of Decay is because I've actually started playing the first one again.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that coming on there as well.
That's supposed to be spring, isn't it? So this new announcement, this includes Sea of Thieves, which releases on March 20th.
Yeah.
Also, up and coming titles like we said, State of Decay, Crackdown 3, also mentioned, along with future Halo games, Forza, and Gears of War.
Yeah.
So that's really, really good.
That's great.
And it's only £7.99 a month.
Yeah.
Or $10 in the US.
Which is about the same price as
really
Netflix.
good.
It's the Netflix of gaming.
Yeah, but this
could
time
be potentially the way forward for gaming.
Yeah, but you're not streaming.
No.
Whereas PlayStation now, you stream the games.
Yeah.
Whereas on this one, you actually download them.
Yeah.
So the Xbox One game subscription service, this launched in June 2017, so it wasn't long ago. And it allowed subscribers to play any Xbox Game Pass title as long as they wish. The caveat being the subscription must remain active.
Yeah. I wonder whether this will still work with, because some of the titles are play anywhere, so you can play on your Xbox and then go to the PC.
Yes, it's the same.
Yeah.
Because Sea of Thieves is a play anywhere title.
Yeah.
I think all their first party games are play anywhere titles. Microsoft updates the service monthly with at least 5 new games, and the titles are cycled out after several months, apart from, like we've just said, Sea of Thieves. The first party games won't cycle out. I think some of the reason why the other games cycle out is because of the licensing issues. It's not because they want them to... And plus, it's to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
And they always warn you a month in advance, like, this game's leaving, but this game's joining. So I think February we're getting Halo Wars 2, Fable Anniversary. They're the 2 I know of that are coming.
Yeah.
There'll be a few more. But they're the 2 I know that are actually being confirmed. So that's really cool. I might try Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
It's in there. And the good thing is, if you've got the game share, which myself and Mike do, it still works for Game Pass. So you could that's £4 each a month. Yeah. which is just bizarre. I'd love to see the economics of how they make money off this. They must be able to. There must be a reason why they can do this. Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see, 6 months, especially after this new development with the first party games, 6 months down the line, a year down the line. Let's see. It'd be interesting to see if they announce anything, how well it's doing. And
even they might bring third party games to it.
Yeah, they could do. Yeah. I mean, there are some third party games
basis,
on there.
But
no, I think that's because of the licensing. That'll be harder to do.
Yeah.
And you do have the option to purchase the game once it's replaced. So you got the option to then purchase it before it leaves, or after it's left. And I think you get like 20% off. Yeah. So you do get a discount for doing that as well. Yeah. And obviously we talked PlayStation Now. It's a streaming service, and that hasn't been as popular. Yeah. But I think this is. I think we're sort of missing how important this is, because this is huge. Yeah. Not just for Microsoft, but for future. Yeah. And I think this is Microsoft. They've lost this generation. Yeah. PlayStation have won it hands down. They've sold the most consoles. They have the most first-party exclusive games at the moment. So they're kind of just steaming ahead. Microsoft, I think, are now looking at when the next generation launches in 3 or 4 years' time. Yeah. That this is maybe an element of that. Like, this is the future. This is what we see as the future. Yeah. People will now follow us. And I know that Nintendo, the rumour was for Nintendo's Online, was very similar to Game Pass, where they were cycling these games on the Nintendos, whatever the online ends up being, and that's obviously been put back till later this year. Although there was a tweet that went out from Nintendo saying it was, and look out for the online gaming in 2019. And everyone was like, what? It's not coming until 2019? And then they went, oh, that's a typo. It's still 2018, but the rumour is it's full 2018. Right, okay. So it'd be interesting to see what Nintendo now do. Do they do? Because they're kind of doing, they're doing amazingly well at the moment. Would they do a similar thing to what Game Pass is doing? See.
I'm still waiting for them to bring some of the SNES games over. Yeah, I'd like to play.
And this is huge. Sony, I think, will be watching this very closely now, especially with PlayStation Now. The problem is, what's the streaming service that the company they bought? Geico or something? They spent millions on the streaming company. Yeah. Which is where PlayStation Now came from. So at the moment, I don't think they want to lose out on that. And they don't need to at the moment. Yeah. They're leading the way. They're making shed loads of money. They're selling. They've got some amazing games coming out on the PlayStation this year. Whereas Microsoft is playing a little bit of catch up. Yeah. But it starts with Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, Crackdown. Yeah. But and hopefully we'll hear about this new Fable game that's rumoured.
Yeah.
Potentially there's Perfect Dark that apparently has been rumoured as well, which is
Yeah.
going to be a third-person action Perfect Dark game from the makers of Gears of War.
Yeah.
The Coalition are meant to be working. That's meant to be their second game they're working on. So I think we'll start to see the Microsoft exclusives 2019, 2020 onwards.
Yeah.
The newer ones, the ones we don't know about.
Yeah.
So this, I think, is something that Microsoft needed to do, but also I think it's them saying this is where we think it's going to go in the future for everyone, not just us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really intrigued by how that works. But we'll test it out with Sea of Thieves.
We shall see.
Story number 2. John Cena may be playing Duke Nukem on the big screen.
Oh, you've nicked one of my stories. I was going to do this on
On the
Popcorn
movie.
Banter. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a gaming one. 'Cause it's Duke Nukem.
Well, I'll give you that.
It's Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
This is very much rumour. The well-known wrestler, sometimes actor, is reportedly negotiating for a leading role in the Duke Nukem movie. The project is still early in development, as there is no writer or director attached.
Much like some of the Duke Nukem games. Then.
Yeah.
Like Duke Nukem Forever never came out.
Well, it did in the end.
Well, yeah.
It took forever. It took like 10 years.
Yeah.
I think it was longer than 10 years. It might have been 12 years.
What's it even
13.
called? It was just called Duke Nukem as well, wasn't it?
No, it was called Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but it took forever to come out. THR is reporting the Paramount Studios will produce the movie alongside Michael Bay's production company, Platinum Dunes.
Expect loads of explosions.
He's not directing,
No.
he's just producing. Paramount owns the movie rights, having purchased them from Gearbox Software, the current owner of the IP. The Duke Nukem series has been dormant for a while. The latest original release was Duke Nukem Forever, which came out in 2011 after a decade in development. It was met with a critical panning, and in 2016, Gearbox released Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour, a remaster of Duke Nukem 3D.
I love the Duke Nukem games.
Oh, they're
the
amazing.
original ones.
And
Not so much the new ones.
John Cena, have you seen him in any movies yet?
I haven't, actually.
I've seen him I watched Trainwreck.
Yeah.
He's really good in that. He plays like a bit of a douche.
He's in Daddy's Home too, as well.
He's in Daddy's Home too.
Yeah.
He's not a bad actor.
Here, is he trying to be the next Rock, is he?
Yeah, but he's got the chops
Yeah.
to do it. He's got the charisma.
There was a lot of memes, wasn't there, about John Cena a couple of years ago, all to do with it. You kept seeing it on Facebook about John Cena all the time.
But he's not a bad actor, and apparently he's really nice as a person as well.
Yeah. He's just done a film about a bull, isn't he, where he's playing a bull.
Was
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, the animation, yeah.
Yeah.
And another film I saw him in was called The Wall.
Right.
And it was the guy from Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Aaron Johnson.
Aaron Johnson. And they play two soldiers, and they're in Afghanistan, and they're snipers. Well, Aaron Johnson's a sniper, and John Cena's his spotter.
Yeah.
No, other way around, sorry, yeah. John Cena's the sniper, and Aaron's the spotter. And they're investigating this oil sort of area, and these guys have been killed by this oil plant. So they're investigating that. They go out, and then John Cena gets shot by a sniper and is stuck in the middle of this desert area. And there's a wall that separates him from Aaron Johnson, and Aaron Johnson has to then go behind the wall, and it's the whole. Okay. It's a really good film. Aaron Johnson's got more to do in the movie. It's more his the film's focused on him, but John Cena's really good. Yeah. And the stuff he does do.
We were talking the other day about...
rabbit on about that.
Yeah, you did. Who we'd like to see is in a Wolfenstein movie. And I could actually see John Cena doing it.
He does look like Duke Nukem, though. If you look at his... Yeah. Even the structure of his face and the way he looks, I could see it.
Well, Wolfenstein and Duke Nukem were sort of the same era.
Yeah.
So...
But take this with an absolute pinch of salt at the moment.
We'll never see this.
Because...
It'll probably be directed by the guy who did Postal in the end.
Yeah. Or The Post. Steven Spielberg directs it.
The Postman. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want it to happen now.
Yeah.
I don't know when the next Duke Nukem game's coming out, if ever.
3031.
3031. That's probably what it would be called.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem 3031. So yeah, hopefully.
R&R.
I mean, the next film we've got is Tomb Raider, the next sort of game adaptation.
Yeah.
And then we've got Wreck-It Ralph 2, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite excited for Wreck-It Ralph.
It's not based on a game, Wreck-It Ralph, but yeah. Duke Nukem, Tomb Raider looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Could be the first sort of video game adaptation that works. Yes. But then we did say that about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
we sat there like...
we were hopeful. We were too hopeful. Story number 3. Modders have got PS2 games running on the PS4.
Oh, have they?
Over the last few months, hackers and modders have managed to find vulnerabilities in the PS4 firmware updates that allow them to run games without legally owning them.
Right.
This is done with the help of PS4 Hen and other modded software that lets the console read previously backed up games without typical checks.
So naughty people who have been downloading them off the internet.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The effect is still small, and Sony have been releasing new firmware updates to plug these holes.
Yeah.
But we now have a potentially more interesting application in the running priority PS4 games.
Did this happen with the Wii as well?
Yeah, people can
hack the Wii U.
Electroid is reporting that a new tool created by CCF Profit allows users to back up PS2 games and then run them on a PS4.
No, we're not condoning this.
No, we're not condoning it at all. And the only two PS4 games they've got running is Shinobi and Kelowna. So they've only got 2 games running.
Yeah,
anyway. So it goes without saying that using exploits to load unassigned content is against the terms and conditions and should be done at your own risk.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because Sony got famously their PSN went down. Was it 6 or 7 years ago?
Yeah.
And it went down for like 6 months.
It's also down at the moment when people want to play Monster Hunter.
Yes. They've had issues this week, haven't they?
Yeah.
People not being able to get on. But they had that massive issue where they had to, I think, give people a load of free games.
Yeah.
And it was really bad for Sony because it was it when PS3? It was PS3, wasn't it, when it happened? And yeah, I think they got hacked or something had happened and they're really vulnerable and no one could play online for 6 months. I think it was almost 6 months.
Yeah.
Might have been less than that, but it was a long time.
Yeah.
And so the fact that people are able to do this
makes
me think they still haven't quite fixed their
I've never got on with their online network.
Yeah.
I've always had issues with it. I mean, I know when we tried to play COD, we've had issues before, and that's why I prefer doing all my online gaming with Xbox.
Yeah, Microsoft, I think, are definitely the leaders in.
They've got the niche
gaming.
on that
They've
online gaming.
They're absolutely the leaders. I mean, PSN isn't terrible by any stage. It's better than it was.
Yeah.
But this sort of the fact that people can mod. I'm not saying they can't mod the Xbox, but I think it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
You don't really hear many stories of people modding Xboxes than you do of PS4.
Yeah.
And other systems. So be interested to see how Sony respond. Obviously, they're responding with small updates to kind of plug the holes, but. Yeah, let's hope they haven't got a PSN issue like that. I mean, last week it was down for quite a while.
Yeah.
So let's hope they haven't got, especially with their big first-party games coming out really soon. With God of War coming out in April.
And Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's probably going to be, May or June release.
Last of Us.
They're not really online games, but you don't want people not
Last
to
of Us
purchase them or download them. And Last of Us. That's a single-player game.
Right, no, it's got online. It had online on the first one.
Oh, yeah, the online multiplayer. Yeah. They haven't confirmed if online's back for 2, though, but that won't be this year.
Yeah.
That's no way Last of Us is this year. So, story number... Where are we? Number 4. Number 4. Here we go. The new God of War game finally has a release date on PS4. It's coming out on April 20th, 2018.
Yeah, and that won't be delayed.
That won't be delayed, no. It's...
it looks great.
It was announced by the producer, so he's not going to... God of War games typically release in March. This is the first God of War game to come out of that March release schedule. Which is good because it means they're not rushing it to get it out in March.
Yeah.
It's a month. I guess for them internally, if it was meant to be March, it's a month's delay. But it's not really a delay because we never had a release date in the first place. So the date was announced alongside a new story trailer. Have you seen the story trailer?
I have.
It's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's really, really good. Definitely go out and watch it.
There's no co-op though. It's not a co-op game, is it?
No,
it just plays the 2 characters.
It's basically Last of Us, but God of War this time.
Yeah.
It's... The camera's a lot closer to you this time. It's a 30-hour story, so it's not like this. Still going to have the famous combat, I think. Yeah. But it's more him and his son going on this crusade.
Yeah.
Which it does look
stunning.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
So this is the first in Sony's first-party releases for 2018 to have a date announced.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man, Days Gone, and Dreams.
So I'm quite excited about Days Gone.
Days Gone, I think, will be the later half of this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping it will be. Hoping it will be an open world. It hasn't been announced yet.
Well, Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man, and God of War, all when they were showing these at E3 last year, all said they're the first half of 2018.
Yeah.
Which the first half brings you to June.
Yeah.
Essentially. So Spider-Man will be out before July, hopefully, unless it's delayed. Detroit Become Human, I would say, is probably going to be like a May. That might be the one that they push further back. Days Gone could be their big full game. They haven't had a proper big full game for a while, Sony.
Yeah.
They've relied on third party. So I wonder if this will be like...
Yeah.
Right, Days Gone. I could see Days Gone. They want to keep that as far away from Last of Us because it's very similar. People might see it as a very similar type of game. So it's either going to be...
And also, when they find out State of Decay is coming out, they don't want to... Because that's a very similar game as well.
Yeah. I don't think Sony are really worried
No,
about that sort of thing
no.
because they're relying on PS4.
Yeah.
For them, it would be more keeping it away. It's like State of Decay coming out close to.
Or Red Dead.
Yeah. And yeah, no one knows Red Dead's release date yet, so
September.
expect these to move. If
It
Red
will be
Dead comes
September.
out. I don't know. I think it'll still be spring.
September.
June is their poetic license. Spring is technically until the 21st of June.
From
so
May
they
to
can get away.
September, that famous song. That's what
May
it
to
is.
September.
Yeah.
But I think Days Gone will be their full game.
Yeah,
If not, they push that to spring next year.
It's got the actor
and then
that's
you bring it Last of Us.
they've used mocap with the actor that did like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed sagas.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's good.
It looks really good. We've seen little bits of Days Gone, but not too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, God of War, probably gonna have a go at that.
Yeah.
Story number 4.
Five.
5. I've written 4 twice.
Yes, you have.
Story number 5. UK retailer game is changing the earn rate of its reward loyalty points.
And then for the American listeners, that's like GameSpot.
GameStop.
GameStop.
GameStop, yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah, for American listeners, Game is basically the GameStop in the UK.
Yeah.
Previously, Game would reward 1 point for every 0.123 pence spent. So
Yeah.
not a lot. You didn't get a lot.
No.
The retailers announced that from March 25th on it's reducing this to 1 point for every 25 pence spent. So basically it means you have to spend double money to earn the same number of points. That said, Game is not changing the value of reward points, so you'll still be able to use them in the same way you do today.
Yeah.
The minimum you can save is £1, which requires 400 points. That's at the current rate.
Yeah.
You need to spend £50 to earn enough
pound.
points to get a pound off.
That's ridiculous.
At the new rates, you'd have to spend £100
To get a pound.
to get a pound off. And this will also apply to their £36 a year elite card.
They're in the Gamer
Gamer
are
are in trouble.
Yeah,
And this is
they're
a sign
struggling
of that.
anyway at the
Yeah.
moment. I think they started to they started to go into liquidation, didn't they? Then they were saved.
Then they were saved.
I think they'll go back into liquidation.
And they were saved because I think for a lot of like game companies like Microsoft and Sony, they don't necessarily, when people are buying their consoles,
Yeah.
yes, supermarkets sell them, but I think people like to find out more about the console,
Yeah.
what they're getting, whereas Tesco's won't offer you that advice,
Yeah.
not really. So I think they kind of rely on
And CEX, if you
Game
buy a
and
40
GameStop
quid
in the US
game,
to
you
do
can
that.
take it back the next day and get 50p for it.
Yeah.
You know.
And CX have better trading deals, and now CX are starting to get brand new games in
Yeah.
because they'll go off and buy them from somewhere
But to
else.
be honest,
sell
we
them.
haven't bought a disc game for a long time. Actually.
No, we haven't.
And we tend to get them on digital.
So
I
I
mean,
think-
you lose. You can't trade them in.
This is interesting. I think this could backfire big time for game.
Yeah. Well,
because people will just
also
not
a well-known
go.
retailer are doing that as well. Tesco's have been.
What with their reward? With their
Yeah,
club
their
card,
reward. Their
but that's different because it's not just games. That's
No,
everything,
it's everything. Yeah.
But this is interesting. We see. I don't think game is like going to go under anytime soon. But I think this is the start potentially of that
Of the end.
that cycle.
Start of the end.
And it isn't. It's hard for them because they are competing with the likes of Amazon and online
Yeah.
retailers. They're competing with people now deciding just to download games.
Yeah.
Pre-ordering is pointless now. I think really.
You've got Shop 2 as well. You've
Yeah.
got CD keys.
And they do put a lot of pressure in. Get the loyalty card. Get the new loyalty card. It's £36. Yeah, it's for a year. But if I'm not going to go into game that often
Yeah.
to buy games, I'll go in quite a lot to have a look around. Sometimes
Yeah.
I like to go and have a look. But I tend to end up just buying them online sometimes because I know I'm not going to trade
It's
it
like
in.
when you get in a game. I've just bought a game for 50 quid. I don't want to buy anything. Would you like to insure it for £1? No, I'm alright.
You sort of this,
Would you
yeah.
like to get the
And I
walkthrough
think-
guy for 12 quid? No, I'm alright. Just
Yeah.
sell me the game.
And I think pre-order is kind of... Well, we saw it with Star Wars Battlefront. Don't
Yeah.
pre-order.
No.
Vote with your wallet. And you don't really need to pre-order because the game... If you know it's a game like Red Dead
Yeah.
that we know we're going to play and we're going to play to absolute death and we're going to love it,
Yeah.
why would I get the disc?
Yeah.
When I'm going to download it, I don't have to pre-order that. Yes, you can pre-download
we pre-ordered Battlefield, Battlefront 2.
it. Yeah.
I think with a lot more EA games, I'm going to be a bit wary about
yeah.
pre-ordering.
But I think, yeah, with this, with game, and it is sad, I hate to see, because it's people's jobs as well,
Yeah, yeah.
potentially. I mean, this isn't a sign that they're going under.
No.
But I think, unless game evolves in a way and looks at its business structure in terms of what it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it sells consoles. I'd buy a console from someone like Game. I don't really like getting my consoles online because they can get damaged in transit and things like that. So I think Game is a shop that a lot of, especially parents as well,
Yeah.
will kind of trust their knowledge, and they are knowledgeable. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You don't go into like a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's and ask them about how the Xbox X works. They'll just sell you the console.
They go, I don't know.
So
unless you find somebody really knowledgeable.
yeah, which is probably harder in a supermarket environment.
Yeah.
So I think game will be around why we have for a while, but I think with online gaming now, with people downloading games,
Yeah.
they don't offer a lot for trading anymore, so it's kind of pointless trading your games in. And now
it's like when you buy a car. When you buy a car and you take it out of the showroom, it loses its value. If you buy a game, it loses its value straight away.
And with this points thing,
Yeah.
I think people will probably use their loyalty cards less because they're not going to get much back for it
No.
anymore. You have to spend loads of money, and people aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
So I hope they come in. They may reverse.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get a bit of a... I went on a forum where I got that story from Eurogame, and I went into like the comments, and so many negative comments, not many positive comments at all. There's a few like what we've said about how Game are up against it at the moment and struggling because it's just a tough market, but this doesn't help them.
Yeah.
I think this probably backfires for them in a way. Last story of today.
Yes.
So we talked about this last week. Anthem, BioWare's new game, the guys that made the Mass Effect games, Mass Effect Trilogy games, and Dragon Age games, is reportedly now delayed until early next year.
Aha! We had a debate about this week, didn't we? Because we were talking about it, and it was announced that it was coming out 2018, fall 2018, and you were like, yeah, it'll come out, and I was like, no, it definitely will get pushed
I only
back.
say that because the game's been in development for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean,
so
what we've seen is quite impressive of it.
Yeah, really impressive.
But
this isn't official though. EA haven't come out and confirmed.
But they literally
any of this yet.
backpedaled. The story came out like a day or 2 days after they said it was coming out in 2018.
Yeah. No, they said 2018 at E3. It was in the trailer.
I mean, recently that it was going to be autumn 20, like...
Oh no, it was always late 2018.
Yeah.
So, that was the rumour.
Yeah.
Now none of this is official yet, so it could still come out this year. We don't know.
We don't know.
But according to the report, the full release window provided during the game's announcement was never realistic. And this is from Kotaku, source at Kotaku. That said, during the publisher EA financial call ahead of last year, so before they announced the 2018 release date, it was revealed Anthem would release in fiscal year 2019, which brings it to sort of any time between then and
any time before April. But most of their sort of Mass Effect type games have come out in March.
Yeah, so I can see this being March. I don't think it'll be any later than March.
No.
So this game's been in development since 2012.
Yeah.
So it's been in development quite a while. Various sources familiar with the project at BioWare cited one possible reason for the delay could be attributed to the issues with the Frostbite engine, which is apparently for open world games doesn't really work, and there's so many problems with it. But EA doubled down on Frostbite.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good engine.
It's great.
Battlefield looks awesome.
Battlefield and Battlefront, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently it doesn't work for...
Yeah.
And obviously there are issues with Mass Effect Andromeda, which was not a bad game.
It wasn't brilliant.
Story-wise, but it was just played with bugs and all sorts of...
I wish I waited
bugs
for it to come to the Vault.
Yeah, which we
discussed last week.
And I think another reason potentially for this delay, this rumoured delay, is the stuff that's been happening with Destiny recently.
Yeah.
Because Anthem is reportedly going to be this live service game. It's going to have a single player.
It's going to be like Division, isn't it?
It's going to be like Division and
Destiny, but a third person space game.
They're possibly looking at Destiny's issues it's having recently, thinking we need to just a few more months just to sort of make sure we don't have similar problems.
Yeah.
And I think also with the reception that not only Mass Effect got, but obviously Battlefield got as well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Battlefront got this year. Late last year. So I think a delay. If there is a delay, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
There's plenty of play this year, and if this game is really, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
March is perfect. Like, bring it out next year.
Yeah.
Let's play it next year. The rumour is it won't be any later than that because EA won't want to miss another fiscal year.
Yeah.
So they'll want it out before the end of sort of fiscal year 2019. So yeah, I could definitely see it being February, March time.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll see more. I think we'll definitely see more at E3 this year. I think they may even announce a beta. I reckon there's going to be some.
We might get a beta in October.
Beta. Yeah, there might be a beta this year, and then you play it next year. So yeah, Anthem looking really good.
Yeah.
Well, that, Mike, is the end of
the news.
Okay, Mike, so our topic, something I wanted to discuss with you today on this week's podcast is violence and video games.
Oh, controversial.
Controversial, well, because Let me say this. Chris, a good friend of ours, linked me to a story. He said it might be quite interesting to discuss. And this was from a recent article from the University of York.
I like York.
So researchers at the University of York have found no evidence to support the theory that video games make players violent.
Right.
Now, for years and years, we've had this there's been this debate, hasn't there, with, especially in America, with violence in video games. There was that, I think was he called Jack Trenton, this famous US senator?
Yeah.
That was one of GTA, I think when GTA 4 came out, he wanted it completely banned and all of that.
It was GTA San Andreas.
Oh, that's it,
on
GTA
the
San
Xbox,
Andreas.
yeah, on the
that's right,
PlayStation 2.
So...
There's actually a TV movie, isn't there? A BBC TV movie with Daniel Radcliffe about that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he plays...
it came out about 2 years ago.
So I think it's an interesting debate to have, I think.
Yeah.
Because movies, for a while, before games were like a main medium, were having a similar issue.
But that's like saying, like, if you play GTA, does that mean you're more likely to steal cars?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, we've played violent games. We don't go out... And I think it's more...
I mean, you've only stolen a few cars.
Yeah. It's more your upbringing.
Yeah.
And I think it's more your mental state as a person.
I mean, if you sit playing for 18 hours a day straight playing video games, then I'm sure you might start to be slightly warped.
Yeah.
But not necessarily violent, just...
No.
You know.
And there are people that play computer games, then go out and do heinous things, and they blame it, but they tend to blame it on the game they were playing. Now, could it be the game? Possibly for them, because we don't know what their mental state is, and the game could trigger something else.
I'm sorry.
But it doesn't mean the game's solely responsible.
Yeah. I was playing Theme Hospital for 23 hours.
And I went
to the hospital and tried to do some operations.
Was that the one where you went in and you pretended you were a gynecologist? Yeah.
That wasn't me, by the way.
That wasn't you.
That's a story in the news this week.
Yeah, some guy pretended he was a gynecologist.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, where were we? So, in a series of experiments with more than 3,000 participants, the team demonstrated that video game concepts do not prime players to behave in certain ways, and that increasing the realism of violent video games does not necessarily increase aggression in game players.
No.
The dominant model of learning in games is built on the idea that exposing players to concepts such as violence in the game makes these concepts easier to use in real life. This is known as priming, and is thought to lead to changes in behaviour. Previous experiments on this effect, however, have so far provided mixed conclusions. Researchers at the University of York expanded the number of participants in experiments compared to studies that had gone before it, and compared different types of game and realism to explore whether more conclusive evidence could be found.
Right.
So they've done a lot of detail. And this priming issue, thing is quite interesting.
It's like saying that it's games are brainwashing people.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the military use simulations to do some of their exercises.
Yeah, there's one of those games you can actually buy. I think it's called USR or something like US Army.
Yeah, it's a bit like
Counter-Strike. It's on PS4. You can buy it, but it's slightly changed from what they use for the military. So and games games are educational.
It's like saying that it's like Clockwork Orange, isn't it? It's that sort of brainwashing, which isn't the case.
Call of Duty, I think some schools use it to educate like older kids in terms of like D-Day landings. I know people have used things like that. Assassin's Creed is going to have this educational tour mode of Egypt coming out.
Oh, okay.
I think it's in March this year. And that's going to be where they take out all the protagonist isn't in it.
And you can
There's no violence. You just explore Egypt and you learn about the history and the culture.
That's interesting.
So games are an art form, and they can be used as an educational tool. And I think it's been a scapegoat for so long because it's not like films where you watch a film and you kind of sit back and watch it and take it in. I think with games, because you're actually doing those things as a puppet master your character's the puppet on the strings. I think that's probably where it gets its thing from. But this article I think is interesting because it kind of hopefully puts a lot of myths to bed a little bit. And the games industry is not going away.
It's only getting bigger.
The movie industry last year, I don't know the exact statistics, but it was like something in like 30 billion mark, and the games industry was like double that.
Yeah. So
games are here for a while. And think of all the movies we talked about on our last podcast with games being adapted into movies and vice versa. It's huge. It's a huge industry. The article also talked about reaction time. So in one study, participants played a game where they had to either be a car avoiding collisions with trucks or a mouse avoiding being caught by a cat.
That's like there's a PS4 game, isn't there, where you have to be the cat, or you
the
play
VR
cat and
one.
mouse.
The VR one. Following the game, the players were shown various images such as a bus or a dog and asked to label them as either a vehicle or an animal. Well, they're scientists, Mike.
It's a picture of a pig.
Yeah.
That is a bicycle.
Dr. David Zendel from the University Department of Computer Science said, if players are primed through immersing themselves in the concepts of the game, they should be able to categorize the objects associated with this game more quickly in the real world once the game is concluded. Across the two games, we didn't find this to be the case. Participants who played a car-themed game were no quicker at categorizing vehicle images, and indeed some cases their reactions were significantly slower.
Yeah.
Combat games. They looked at combat games. The experiment compared player reactions to combat games, one that used ragdoll physics to create realistic character behaviour, and one that did not, in an animated
GTA
world
has
that
the
nevertheless looked real.
Yeah.
Following the game, the players were asked to complete word puzzles called word fragment completion tasks, where researchers expected more violent word associations would be chosen for those who played the game that employed more realistic behaviours.
I'll be honest, when I played Scrabble, I have tried to make rude words before and funny words.
They compared the results of this experiment with another test of game realism, where a single bespoke war game was modified to form two different games. In one of these games, enemy characters used realistic soldier behaviours, whilst in the other game they did not employ realistic soldier behaviour.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that, this says to me that where you associate in real world and making the game, it doesn't really affect.
No.
People know they're playing a game.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I've played games where I've played them for a couple of hours and I've gone out and your brain goes, "Am I still playing the game?" Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I've never gone out where I've never wanted to, if I'm playing Assassin's Creed, never want to climb in a building.
No, exactly. I think virtual reality could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because where that sort of, it's very much more immersive.
Yeah.
But you're still playing a game.
Yeah. I mean, is it going to get to the point with VR where it's going to be you can't tell the difference?
I wouldn't see why not eventually, yeah. I mean, VR's pretty much, it's in the Pong era of VR at the moment. In the Pong era, it's not...
Yeah. Is it going to be like the holodeck? Is it going to be like the holodeck?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Another topic.
Yeah.
VR, we could talk about that one day.
Yeah.
Around realism, in a separate but connected study, the team investigated whether realism influenced the aggression of game players. Research in the past has suggested that the greater the realism of the game, the more primed players are by violent concepts, leading to antisocial effects in the real world.
Right.
Dr. Zendel said there are several experiments looking at graphic realism in video games, but they have returned mixed results. There are, however, ways that violent games can be realistic besides looking like real world, such as the way characters behave, for example. Our experiment looked at the use of ragdoll physics in games design, which creates characters that move and react in the same way they would in real life. Human characters are more modelled on the movement of the human skeleton and how that skeleton would fall if it was injured.
Yeah.
So, again, looking at trying to immerse it as much in realism as possible just to see how people react. And, they found that the priming of violent concepts as measured by how many violent concepts appeared in the word fragment completion task was not detectable. There was no difference in priming between the game that employed the ragdoll physics and the game that didn't, as well as no significant difference between the games that use real and unreal soldier tactics. The findings suggest there is no link between these kind of realism in games and the kind of effects that video games are commonly thought to have on their players. Further study is now needed in other aspects of realism to see if this has the same result. What happens when we consider the realism of by-standing characters in the game, for example, the inclusion of extreme content such as torture?
Well, they did that in Grand Theft Auto, wasn't there? There was a scene where you had to torture somebody.
In 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, which I did think maybe was unnecessary.
But yeah, it didn't make me go out and...
No.
Yeah. We also only tested these theories on adults, so much more work is needed to understand whether it's different in children. And that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because children's, as we all know, brains are still developing.
Yeah.
So it could have a different effect on a child than it would on an adult.
I mean, children are more susceptible to,
definitely.
To ideas and ideas being put in their head, and because they're learning.
Yeah.
I mean, kids essentially are like a sponge; they'll absorb everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not calling kids sponges there.
No, they'll absorb a lot.
They'll absorb all information as much as they can.
There is. Sorry, I will say there is more in that article. So please, go and have a read of the article.
Yeah.
It's from the University of York.
Yeah.
If you just type in violence in video games, it'll pop up because it was a recent story.
Yeah.
But definitely go and have a read read into.
It's
more
an
of
interesting
that.
story. I
Definitely,
mean, that's why I mean, like GTA. You wouldn't have a 12-year-old playing GTA. My nephew wanted to play it, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
you've got to be 18. You need to be 18, really.
17% of video game players are boys under the age of 18.
Yeah,
36% of women over the age of 18, and 48% of all gamers being women of all ages.
yeah,
So I think also it's where I've been in shops like Game and other shops where they won't sell. It's illegal for them obviously to sell Grand Theft Auto to a child.
yeah.
But they'll sell it to the mother,
Yeah.
knowing full well the
But
child's
they're
going
going
to
to play
buy
it. Yeah,
and that can't be right either. And I think something like that, more responsibility from retailers. I think they treat it very differently to. It seems to be like alcohol would be treated extremely differently to.
Yeah.
Well, I used to work in retail, and like we couldn't sell alcohol to someone who we thought was buying it for someone younger. So really,
which should be the same for video games.
and it should be the same video game. But I've definitely been in places like Game and other shops where I've stood behind someone and the child's been next to his mum and she's buying Call of Duty, and you kind of think you're not buying it for yourself. You're buying it for you, and they know that. But
12-year-old kid.
The adults buying it, they kind of think they can get away. But it should be the same.
I mean, Australia have clamped down a bit on this with
really?
censorship, haven't they? And I mean, I noticed with the latest, with the last South Park game, there was a lot of stuff cut out of it.
Yeah,
that wasn't suitable in case there were younger people playing it. You know, I mean, it's designed for an 18 anyway, isn't it? South Park.
75% of parents though check the censors rating on the video game before allowing their child to purchase it.
Yeah.
Of these children, 4% of girls and 50% of boys favoured games with a mature or adult only range. So yeah, they're gonna. They see Call of Duty, and I think sometimes with parents, it's difficult for them to sort of.
Yeah.
They see it as a game. They don't see it as like a movie with an 18 certificate where they probably wouldn't buy it for their child.
No.
Oh, it's a game. It can't
It's a
be
game.
harm.
It'd be fine.
It can be harmless.
I mean, there are worse games than GTA. I mean, we're using GTA and Call of Duty, but there are worse.
Famously,
Manhunt, Outlast. Is it Outlast?
Outlast.
Outlast. Even the latest Resident Evil.
Oh God, yeah. That's pretty scary. But I think it's an interesting debate. But this article, obviously, a lot more work to be done in terms of they've done it with adults now. It'd be interesting to see what reactions they get from kids. And I think I'm pretty sure it'll be very different. Yeah. And it'll bring in slightly different results. But I think this whole red herring of games cause violence. No, people cause violence. People cause violence. You know?
And they just try and find a scapegoat.
Yeah, and I think films were famously in the 70s and 80s were going through a similar thing. You could read a book that's a violent book. Yeah. Does that mean I'm going to go out and Yeah. It's interesting. I think games are an easy target for a lot of people, but it's an industry that isn't going away. No. And I think the game industry has become more responsible over the years when they introduced. In the UK, they introduced like the 18 certificate on games instead of the PEGI rating. Yeah. PEGI rating still exists, I believe. Yeah. But now you do it on GTA, you'll see like 18. Yeah. Like the new Red Dead, you'll see.
So you see on the trailer at the beginning of the game, it goes PEGI 18.
PEGI 18.
PEGI 18.
So I think the games industry is taking steps to address that, but I don't think it should stop artists and game designers making violent games as long as it's not violence just for the sake of violence.
Well, this is the
as
thing
long as it's integral to the story.
With Far Cry 5 coming out, because I mean, the whole cult history and the mass shootings in America. See, this could come under fire. You see,
but I think it would have done by now.
Yeah, when it came out, when the trailers came out, people were like, because there's a film. Is it Red State?
That's really good. Yeah,
it's a great.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, he's actually he passed away this last year. The lead.
Oh, the lead. I thought it was Kevin Smith.
No. The lead. He plays the leader of the cult, which passed away in the film. Yeah. But that is a really good film. But that goes on in America. In America, there's so many odd cults. I don't think so many mass shootings. But then the mass shootings that they blame. Sometimes they blame it on video games.
Yeah. But I don't think the cults are to the extreme of what Far Cry is going to do.
No.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, I mean, there's no cults that take over states, as far as we know.
No, yeah. But I think, you're right. I think with Far Cry, it'd be interesting to see when that game comes out. I mean, it hasn't, to be fair, it hasn't caught too much controversy yet.
No, we don't know about
censorship. And we've seen a lot of it.
We don't know about censorship.
No.
Were there any, I mean, there might have been stuff cut out.
From concept to the game being developed, there was probably people like, let's do this. And they're like, we can't really do that, but we could probably do this. And I think as long as it's done for the right reasons, but they're artists, let them show their expression through their medium. Yeah. And it's up to the responsibility of parents, adults, children to make sure that, we're being responsible. If I was a parent, I wouldn't let my son or daughter play, Call of Duty until they were old enough to experience that game the right way.
Well, you wouldn't let them play Stardew Valley because you'd be playing it.
To be fair, I wouldn't let them play on my console because
Yeah.
it's my console. But no,
But then that's coming down again. Like, when do you give kids mobile phones?
yeah,
Social media is susceptible.
and I think the problem with that, I was discussing this at work, is because our streets in the UK, I'm not sure, I can't speak for other countries, more dangerous, or have we just become more aware of stuff?
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger, we used to go all the time. Didn't have mobile phones then.
Yeah.
But like your parents just trusted. As long as you came back by a certain time, you were trusted to go off and do stuff. And I think
The older generation used to leave their doors unlocked.
our niece she's 9 years old and she's got a mobile. Now, granted, she's not on a contract or anything, and she uses it basically for Messenger and stuff like that. But it's just like, do you need a phone?
So
at
my
that
nephew
age?
uses his parents' phones, but he's not got a Facebook account yet.
No.
He doesn't do online gaming. He wants to do online gaming, but he's not done online gaming yet.
But I think, and again, it's that responsibility piece for me. I think as long as parents are responsible, and I'm not saying kids shouldn't play games, but they should play games that are acceptable and
For
right
their
for their
age.
age group.
Yeah.
And then they mature.
Like a good
And then they
racing
develop
game.
Yeah, like,
Good racing game.
and they mature and develop into playing the games that we enjoy playing now.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead's going to be violent.
Yeah.
Red Dead 2 is going to be probably more violent than Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
Because
And maybe more violent than GTA.
And it's going to look more realistic because graphics have changed
Yeah.
and game development's changed. But that's for adults to play.
Yeah.
That's not a kid's game.
No.
GTA is the same, but a lot of kids play GTA, especially online.
I've been playing it. They come over on the.
Yeah.
On, you know.
And it's just,
It's like, how old are you?
it's hard. It's a hard thing. You can't stop it.
No.
But
It might get to the point where consoles
don't-
will come out where they've got. Well, you can put a parental lock on them as well.
yeah, but that's up to the adult.
Yeah,
to
I mean
do
the
that.
PlayStation has one. You can have it as a timer.
Yeah.
But whether it might get to the point where you have a console set up that has got an age range lock on it, so you can only play certain games. You don't know.
I don't think they'll do that. It's too complicated and
Yeah.
too convoluted. I think it'll be down to the maturity of the parents to make sure they're putting the parental guidance
Yeah.
on their son or daughter's PlayStation or Xbox, and making sure that they're not playing the games they should be playing. I mean, Nintendo have got famously the family-friendly console, but you can play Doom on it now on the Switch.
Yeah.
You're about to play Wolfenstein some
Skyrim.
point this year. Skyrim's on there. So Nintendo aren't afraid to have mature games on their console because they know that.
I mean, there's rumours of South Park coming as well.
Rumour that
Stick
South
of
Park's
Truth.
coming out in March potentially. So I think for me, it's responsibility of retailers. Game developers are responsible for making sure they're clear what their game is about and that it's not for kids. And I think they've definitely made huge steps, game developers, in doing that. There's still things to do, but I think it's down to those three things: the developers, the retailers, the parents.
Yeah.
Making sure I don't want kids to stop playing games. Kids are being educated in computer programming at school.
Yeah.
I'd love that. When we were at school, we didn't have computer programming.
No.
We had computers, but not the.
No, they were talking about this the other day about.
It's the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, these kids could be the next programmers, designers, and I don't want them to be put off by people saying you shouldn't play games. Games are for, you get the usual. Games are for geeks and all the rest of it, and games are silly and they're for they're not just.
You don't have to be a geek to play games.
You do not.
You know,
And you think like mobile games are huge.
I know people that aren't geeks that play like Call of Duty and Grand Theft
Exactly.
Auto.
And I think people say, games are, violent games shouldn't, people you shouldn't have things like, why does GTA exist? It shouldn't be allowed and all the rest of it. No, because it tells a story and it's a parody on America and it's a parody on.
Again, like Far Cry.
I like Far Cry, but it's artistic license.
Yeah.
It's artistic,
It's not real. It's not real
shouldn't
life.
be censored just because it's a game.
Yeah.
Then in that case, let's censor violent books. Let's censor
violent films. Let's censor violent
films,
TV programs.
Violent TV.
Look at Game of
where does it
Thrones.
stop? Yeah, Game of Thrones, a good example.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Where
does it stop? I know games are more interactive
Yeah.
than say a TV or show or film is.
And I think actually TV programs are more accessible for kids than video games or movies.
Yeah, because they could just be scrolling through the channels and watch it. So, yeah, it's. I'm sure we'll discuss this again in the future.
Yeah, I think it's a great topic we've had today. Controversial. I think.
Well, not really, but yeah, controversial in terms of I think the perception of games.
Yeah, I think if you've got any thoughts on it, please message in or write to us, and we'll read them out on the show.
Yeah, what you think? But yeah, I think this study I think is interesting.
Yeah,
I'd like to see where it goes because obviously there's a lot more.
Maybe we'll come back to this later in the year.
If they do the study with the kids, let's see what the results were of that. But yeah, I only sort of glossed over the study a little bit.
Yeah.
But please go take your time to go and read it and read up on other studies into video game violence. And let us know what you think in the comments because I think it's definitely an interesting subject.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good podcast today.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed
fully
it.
featured one.
I know. We've crammed it all into an hour.
We've crammed it all into an hour, but no, many thanks for your support so far with the other podcast.
Yeah,
we're up to 134 plays of our podcast on SoundCloud already.
That's amazing.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
So, from all over the world.
Yeah.
So we're really encouraged by that. We know this is a slow burn. We know it takes time.
Yeah.
People to find the podcast and to listen to it, but I know we've had some.
You can listen on YouTube as well. Let's try and get the viewers up on YouTube.
On YouTube.
I looked at it the other day when it went live, and it went, "Oh, that's already been viewed by 3 people." Then realised I'd clicked on it. I'd actually refreshed it 3 times.
No, but when you refresh it from your account, doesn't count. Does it count as a view?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, go. It's on iTunes as well. We're on iTunes.
Yeah.
So please go and watch that. Our next podcast will be coming at you on Friday. And it will be Popcorn Banter.
Yeah, I'm writing the script as we speak because it's what I like writing about, movies and TV.
Movies and the TV.
Yeah, but it's going to be a slightly different podcast, isn't it, next week? Because it might be a solo one because I'm away with work for a little bit.
You're away with work, so it'll be myself next week and possibly for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But we might bring in a guest speaker.
Yeah.
Who will be revealed very shortly.
They're trying to push me out.
I'm not trying to push him out. But it'll be solo next week and possibly a guest speaker the following week. And then Mike will be back, ready to go in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
For more Guerrilla Games and a bit more popcorn banter.
Yeah. So from myself, Mike.
And Simon.
And the team here at Guerrilla Geeks. No, I say the team here at Guerrilla Geeks. It makes us sound like we're bigger than we actually are.
Yeah,
like we've got a whole production team.
One day. Think big, Mike. Think big. Think big.
From the team that is myself and Simon.
Think big. Yeah.
This is us signing out. Oh.
I
cracked that. This is us signing out.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
Catch you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye.